Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour one. Tell me what you're thinking, we can have some more fun.
It is Monday, April 8th. Welcome back to Stealing Home, the most unserious baseball show online. I'm Lisa, as always, joined by my co-host and brother, Anthony. And today, we're very excited to be joined by our sometimes co-host and Czech baseball star, Brett. Welcome back, guys. How's it going?
Good. Brett.
Always good.
Brett came on the show and had to rock his dumb Yankees gear, and that made you feel empowered to wear your dumb Yankees gear. So
no, I knew that Brett was gonna come on, so I wore my Yankees gear, and it just so happens that we were on the same page today.
Well, in honor
Honestly, it fires me up that she wore it, but also great minds think alike.
I hate that this is turning into a Yankees podcast.
Notice how the Rays fan is hiding behind a Cubs jersey right now.
First of all,
Hooters visor.
Okay, you can't knock the Hooters visor.
Very kid friendly, Anthony.
Yeah.
The kids love Hooters. All right, but first of all,
okay.
He came at my Rays fandom. This is a Ben Zobrist jersey. All right. So.
Yeah, but when he was playing for the Cubs, not the
World
Rays.
Series MVP,
Yeah,
by the way. Doesn't matter.
Before we start, did you guys know that 50 years ago today, Hank Aaron broke Babe Ruth's record?
Yes. Now, I wouldn't have known that if I wasn't just on Twitter and saw his great-grandson throw a first pitch. So I would not have known that.
Oh, that's cool. I would not have known that if MLB... The MLB app did not keep sending me notifications all day, which they've been doing lately, a lot of.
Good.
Also, and Coach Posey, like I told you, shout out to Coach Posey, is a Cubs fan.
Yeah, there you go.
I told him that we'd be ripping the episodes, and we got to get him on soon. I told him that today.
Yeah, I wore this because I knew Coach Posey might be tuning in, so I had to rock.
Hey, he's got
sure.
big cry because we got WN tomorrow, but shout out.
All right. Well, do you want to kick it off? Are you leading this, or you want to rip the weekly recap, see what games happened last week? And
yeah, I mean, I don't know what you've got on the screen yet, but we can just probably pop that up. And if you want to walk through, Go ahead and walk us through the midweek results that we've got so far.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you guys watched a lot of games last week. Not really much going on in midweek. The Rays lost to the Rangers. The Pirates won against the Nationals. I mean, we saw that coming, but the Pirates are hot. The Angels, after their team meeting, ended up sweeping the Marlins. Don't know if that's the team meeting. Don't know if that's just because the Marlins stink. The Red Sox beat up on the A's during the midweek because the A's looked atrocious. They swept them. The A's made like 13 errors in their first 5 games, too. It just looks like they're trying to lose. Everything about the Oakland A's stinks right now. The Kansas City Royals and the Baltimore Orioles, they had a good series. The Royals ended up losing that, but they looked good losing. They looked as good as you can look losing as anyone can. The Giants got swept by the Dodgers. Anything midweek-wise that you guys are like, oh, this is a matchup I was looking forward to, that you were like, oh, yeah, this was good, or like, nah, this was... Oh, the Yankees and Diamondbacks 2001 World Series rematch. Yankees.
I was about to say, man, we were literally just talking about all the Yankees gear we got on. You're just not even going to talk about it.
I think I was just trying to suppress it in my head because I'm tired of seeing the Yankees everywhere.
Sure. Well, of course, I was looking for the Yankees, but what about you guys? Anything other than the boys in pinstripes?
The Rays got beat by the Rangers, which was like classic.
Yeah.
We can move on to the weekend series, though.
I was going to say, I'm looking at these, and I'm like, I don't think there's any big surprises from any of the midweek series. I think everything comes kind of closer to the weekend.
Well, it was that midweek series that we did see a no-hitter from Ronel Blanco, which we'll talk about.
Oh, that's right.
We'll talk about later.
It was midweek, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say also in the rubber match, the Yankees did go 11 innings with the Diamondbacks. Super exciting game for people that are not Yankees fans or Diamondback fans tuning in. Super exciting game, 11 innings, so that was fun.
Just good ball.
You know what's super?
What's super? I want to know what's super.
What super is now when you say 11 innings, I don't immediately think it was 5 hours long. I think, oh, wow, just extra baseball for free. Like they didn't have to like co-sign their whole lives to stay at that park to get extra innings.
Yeah, a lot of 2.5-hour games. We love that. We love that over here.
I love that. Big fan.
Let's go to the weekend results. The Rays ended up beating the Rockies out in Colorado. The first game of that series, though, the Rays came back down 9-5. As a Rays fan, I was hype. I was like, oh, we're back. It was like some score like that, and then we ended up losing
Bro,
the game
against the
anyway.
Rockies? I'm sorry.
I
I
don't
don't mean to
care.
interrupt you.
We were
but against
down.
the Rockies,
We're down like 5 runs in the ninth, something like that. We come back and tie it and take the lead. Yeah, that's pretty sweet against a little league team. I'd be hype. So, but we ended up losing anyway. Grand Slam, Rockies win, but we ended up winning the series. Good bounce back there. The Mets beat the Reds after the announcer was talking all that mess about how this is rock bottom. No one's at the stadium, and we stuck. They ended up beating the Reds in that series. The Phillies beat the Nats. Braves swept the Diamondbacks. So was that Yankees series win against the Diamondbacks, the Yankees being good, or the Diamondbacks washed because they just got swept by the Braves, who are a powerhouse team? It's a little bit of a stretch. I'm stretching.
Yeah, I'd say there might be a stretch considering the team was just playing in a World Series.
I don't know actually.
They were a wild card team. I think that's what Lisa was about to say.
I was just about to say that. They were a wild card team, and I think it feels like this season is a lot, and we haven't even made it down on all these rows yet, but it feels like this season some of the powerhouses might be taking a step back. I don't know. I feel like someone like the Diamondbacks are not doing as well as I would have expected, and I would put the Astros in that category too.
Yeah. Well, last year the Astros got off to a slow start too. Their series is still undecided. Their series is gonna finish tonight, but they beat the Rangers in that primetime game, but they lost the first 2 games. The 4th game is tonight. They have a 4-game series. The Cubs, shout out the Cubbies. This is why I'm wearing their jersey. They won the series against the Dodgers. That's a little interesting for Cubs fans.
Exciting series too. Very exciting series.
Yeah, that's a little interesting for Cubs fans. It was at Wrigley. Don't know if you want to weigh that. And it is early in April, so again,
I would weigh that.
Yeah.
I think that matters. Yeah.
A very interesting series here was the Pirates and the Orioles. The Pirates look legit. They won against the Orioles, walked off in the last game of the series. The Buccos look hot right now. And
I was going to ask, what was all our picks for that division? I wanted to ask that.
I don't even remember.
I
For the Central?
I can't remember if I had the Pirates winning that division or not.
I think I had the Cubs.
To piggyback off that, look legit.
I think I had the Pirates winning that division for sure, because we've just been talking about, I feel like the last few seasons, we've said the Pirates look good, and we've been waiting for them to actually make something happen. And this might be that year.
It could be.
Yeah, they definitely look good. They got a young core, and they're kind of like what the Orioles were last year. The Orioles and the Pirates to me are really similar. I just think the Orioles have like better talent in their roster, but the Pirates are like right there.
It's in their farm system. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but the
what
Buccos
sucks for the Orioles is just like the division they're in, though. They're always going to have to be a little bit better than someone like the Pirates, because they're going to have to make their way above, the AL East people.
Yeah, but I know when we were doing our division picks like 2 weeks ago almost, we were kind of crapping on the NL Central, but don't sleep, because I think as far as I see right now, the National League Central won every series this weekend, and they kind of look like a pretty damn good division. They got the Cubs, who look pretty good. The Pirates look pretty good. The Reds are scrappy. The Brewers are always going to be decent, and then the Cardinals are always going to be decent. So did we sleep on the NL Central a little bit?
Every team 500 or above right now in that division? I think that's the real question.
I can double check.
What'd you ask?
Every team 500 or above in that division currently?
Yes.
So it's early,
Yes.
but I'm pretty sure the answer is yes.
Yeah, I think it's the Cardinals that are 500. Everyone else is over 5.
So did we sleep on the NL Central? No. We said they were a bad
early,
division.
But I would say so far.
And
no, I don't think we did. I'm taking a nap. I'm going to go take a nap, and I'll see you guys at the end of the season, and I will feel just fine. I don't think I'm going to miss anything.
And I just want to touch on this before I ask this question, though, but the Red Sox also beating the Angels. The Red Sox actually look pretty good in the first 10 games. That leads me into my question. Any teams with, first 10 games of 162 game schedule, what are the biggest surprises that you're like, oh, I didn't think this team was going to be that good? Any surprises?
Well, I think you hit really hard on the Red Sox. I checked the standings today. I give lessons to my boy Nash. So I told Nash about our show, actually. He said he's going to tune in at some point. So Nash, if you're watching this, man, shout out to you.
And stop dropping your hands and stop pulling your head when you swing.
Yeah. And the Orioles are in third place right now. So sucks to be you. However, we talked about a little bit how the Red Sox were in second, how surprising that was. So I would say the Red Sox. Now, granted, have they played anybody yet?
The Angels. Who else did they play, man? They didn't play. I feel like they didn't. Oh, the A's. They played the A's too. So
Yeah,
it's
I thought it was
like,
the A's.
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like,
They haven't played anybody great, but also it's like, okay, I was not expecting that. But on the flip side, I also wasn't expecting the Astros to be 2-8 or 2-7 or whatever they are right now either.
Well, so
So
that's what I was just gonna
that's two
say.
surprising teams for me, is one really good and one really bad.
Yeah, I think of teams that I slept on or maybe just don't care about and maybe I should would be like the Guardians. I think are actually doing pretty decent so far if we're just looking at 10 games. But I think the biggest surprises are coming from these teams like the Astros or the Diamondbacks that seem to be having like a pretty slow start to the season.
yeah,
I think also I was the only one out of us three to have the Guardians winning that division.
I think you were, yeah.
possibly. Shane Bieber getting hurt, getting Tommy John. That's gonna slow down the Guardians a little bit, and we'll talk about Tommy John and the epidemic going on right
Well,
now
you see,
too.
Vasquez is out
We,
too, indefinitely.
I was just gonna say we should
For
put
the
an over
Astros.
under on how
Oh
many
yeah.
we think
A
are
while
gonna
ago. Oh, sorry, Lisa, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say we should do an over under on how many pitchers we think are gonna end up with some sort of elbow injury before the end of the season. Because I can name, I mean, I think there's like 5 already, and we've been playing for 10 days.
Yeah. Also, Lisa, to rain on our parade a little bit, Loizaga is out for the rest of the year.
Lasagna, Jonathan
Yeah,
Lasagna.
Johnny Lasagna is out for the remainder of the 2024
But Cole is apparently coming back soon. He's been throwing, so there's that at least, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, not that Brian Cashman has time to watch our podcast, but Brian Cashman, if you are, this is your sign. Sign. Shoot, I can't even think of his name. And help me out.
Trevor Bauer.
Sign Trevor Power. Trevor Bauer.
Trevor
Thank you.
Power. It's Kenny
Trevor Bauer,
Powers' cousin.
Sign Bauer. He will take the league minimum. Yankees, you know what you have to do.
What's the biggest shocker here, that the Astros and the A's have the same record? Or
Maybe it's that the Astros can throw a no-hitter and still have the same record as the A's.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty shocking.
If Ronel Blanco threw every game for the Astros, they'd be undefeated this year. Fun fact.
Too bad he
I
can't.
mean, I guess that's true. I think that's why I forgot that the no-hitter was actually with who were they facing for the no-hitter? The Blue Jays?
Yeah, not a bad
Yeah,
lineup.
because it was like what the next time Blanco came up was the Rangers, and it looked like he was gonna get another one. And so I just like defaulted to thinking about that series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was
Also,
last night.
can we give ourselves a round of applause? And I know it's early, but for all agreeing that the Blue Jays potentially are the most overhyped team in baseball.
Yeah, it's always the
And
Blue Jays and
so
Yankees.
far, I don't know if they're below 500, but
They are.
I
They
think
are.
they are in the last place in the AL East currently, and have already had a no-hitter thrown against them. And
Yeah, if you're a Rays fan, look, it could be worse. You could be a Blue Jays fan.
yeah, and you're
Yeah,
from
but if you're a Rays fan, didn't you just lose to the Blue Jays at some point? So
We split.
okay.
We split.
yeah, but
All
at
right.
least you're not at least you're not from Canada though.
Yeah, true. And I
The
live in
weather's
Florida where
always
it's
warm and the grass is always greener down in Tampa.
Dang right.
That's true.
Yep.
So,
Well, I just want to end with the talking about last week's results. I thought it was a good week of baseball. We had a no-hitter. Can't complain when you get a no-hitter. That doesn't happen all the time. But how do we feel about the Angels being 0-2, playing the Baltimore Orioles, and then having a team meeting with Ron Washington, their manager, and then since that team meeting, they're 5-2 now?
So I was
think
actually
it's
trying.
Sorry, go ahead, Lisa.
No, I was gonna say I was actually trying to read what the hell happened at this team meeting because I don't know.
They all
It
got
sucks.
naked and had a group shower.
Right. Yeah. Unlike postseason last year, there was a lot of talk about the locker room being sacred and we can't know what happens inside of it. And sure enough, it seems like most of the interviews about this meeting that I've been trying to find, like what happened, have been kind of keeping it under wraps. So it was Reed Detmers who said that the meeting was nothing crazy. It was not a get your butt chewed out meeting. It was, calm down. We know how to play. Let's go out there and play. And I'm paraphrasing. But do we believe that? Do we think that that's what actually happened?
Yeah, they might have brought in a priest or like some kind of figurehead, to like try to like a chakra guy or shaman, I think is what they call it. Maybe they brought in Aaron Rodgers and they all took ayahuasca. We don't really know, but I would say that's probably what happened. I don't think like nothing crazy happened. It was in Baltimore. It was short notice. It wasn't like they could get someone out there. If they were home, I think you could get like a hypnotist out there or something. But yeah,
I would say also game 2 of the season, right? I don't think guys have done enough to really get ripped quite yet. I think it's more of like, hey, I could agree with Lisa thinking, hey, I think it's going to be all right. Like, let's bond together, like let's make sure we're all pulling in the same direction to a common goal. Now if it's 2 months into the season, right, that conversation probably does look different. But the fact that the clubhouse, like you said, is sacred and we have to respect what's going on behind closed doors and keep it within the team because, these guys' lives are everyone's business pretty much. Like I was saying, if Mike Trout goes to Kroger and gets chicken breast, right? Not that he would, but even if he was to go to Kroger and get a chicken breast because he wanted to make chicken parm for, him and his wife, right? It's going to be, hey, these fans were taking pictures of Mike Trout in the self-checkout line because he was at Kroger buying groceries, right? So the fact that they're keeping it lock and key, I'm sure the guys and the manager, Ron Washington, definitely respect that.
You know what all this was?
Pretty
Well, wait, I just want to highlight the grocery analogy when I'm a huge Florida State fan and I have to live with the nightmares of Jameis Winston going and getting crab legs. But go ahead, answer.
Yeah, all this was, and we can move on after this, but all this is just it was Ron Washington, who came from the Atlanta Braves, who won a World Series and was in a World Series with the Texas Rangers. And I'm pretty sure he won one in his playing days with the Twins, maybe? Maybe I'm crazy on that one. I don't know.
Oh, we have the fact check.
Yeah, fact check me. I'm just going to lie and say I know that he did for a fact, but he might not have. But all this is just Ron Washington, who is a winner, going to the Angels, who are losers. And if you're a loser, you get they are. They're losers. And
100%.
And Angels fans will probably tell you the same thing. And when you've lost for so many years, you get a stink on you of just you're just a loser. So losing the first 2 games of the year, he's probably getting people in the clubhouse saying, "Hey, look, I'm Ron Washington. I'm not a loser. You guys are the Angels. You might have been a loser last few seasons, but you're not a loser. You're not going to start losing the first 2 games, and this isn't going to continue. Good teams, they lose 2 games, and they find a way to not make stretches of losing a lot of games." So that's all that was. He was just saying, hey, we're not no loser. We might have lost 2 games, but we're not losers. Go out there and win. And they did. They went 5-2 since, which is cool.
I don't
Also,
think
winning
that we
that
should.
First game after the talk
It's huge.
That's huge.
Yeah, if you have that talk and then they lose the next game, you're a loser.
It's like, okay, we are actually losers, right? You win the next one. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
like that's what's up,
I'm just saying, I don't think we should discount that maybe there were some trust falls or some
Little ass slap.
Some chanting, some yoga or some, I don't know, get our heads
Maybe.
right.
That'd be more fun. That'd be more fun.
We don't know.
Yeah.
It's more fun to imagine. I'll tell you that.
It definitely
Lisa's
happened.
fully convinced that they were playing Twister in the clubhouse and not even talking about baseball.
They were like braiding each other's hair and making friendship bracelets, and now they're winning. So whatever it takes, boys, do it.
It'll be interesting to see their next series for sure. All right, Lise, lead us the way.
Oh, well, no, I mean, so I think at least the big news from baseball wise is this no hitter that we saw against the Blue Jays, right? From the Astros. Like I said, I mean, shocking that you can be still doing not quite well and then have a no hitter. I don't know if that's ever happened, but it's interesting news and it was fun to watch.
They do well with the games that he threw a no hitter. They won 10-0 when he threw his no, and then they won 3-1. I want to say last night against the Rangers, where he threw 6 shutout or 5 2/3 no hit innings. The second game, so they do well when he's pitching.
Maybe
when
be
he's
a
pitching.
bullpen arm in so he can pitch more frequently. What do you think about that?
Nah, because you need him to start the game. That's dumb.
Yeah.
He's their best starter right now, I would say statistically. The guy's allowed 1 hit through 14 2/3 innings, or more than that, like 15 innings. He's allowed 1 hit. So yeah, get him on the bump every day. Have him pitch every day.
I don't know. Can you? Isn't there a limit?
No, there's no limit. This isn't Little League. It's just not smart.
The limit does not exist.
No.
There's a limit of what these people's arms and elbows can take.
Yeah.
But There's no rule.
The cool thing with Blanco, Ronel Blanco, did you know he was kind of like a mix where he didn't know if he was going to make the team coming out of spring training. He finds out he makes the team. A day later, his wife has his second child. 6 days after that, he's making his 8th career start for the Houston Astros, and he throws a no-hitter, which I think is sweet. And then his 9th start. What?
I was just gonna say, is that like the best like 2 weeks of life anyone's like ever? Like, can we?
I
up
haven't
there
had
for
a better
sure.
one than that. I think
I certainly have had my best 2 week stretch of my life has not looked anywhere as good as that.
Hopefully we have a lot more time to have something to catch up to him. But
I hope so. Yeah, that's the goal.
Okay, for fans of the show, I'm getting a ridiculous amount of MLB app notifications, and I'm never going to stop talking about it because it's getting really, like, I hear things and I'm like, oh, people like me, and then no, it's just more baseball news. But it's good. I'm into it. It's just a lot. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. And I saw a notification about the no-hitter, and my brain immediately went to, okay, was it one person or was it a bullpen no-hitter? Because I don't even know anymore. Like, now it seems like you can say it's a no-hitter and it'll be like 5 different guys. So that was cool to see like one guy actually complete a no-hitter and get to do it on his own. And then come back and then almost do it again.
yeah, I don't know how Brett feels about the combined no-hitters, but I think they're terrible.
I mean, I'll weigh in on it.
Yeah, I mean, please do. I'll say this. I personally don't think it's a no-hitter in the same league at all as one guy pitching a no-hitter. But what do you think?
I think a no-hitter is a no-hitter regardless. However, when one guy does it, it is definitely a whole lot cooler. Like if I see article right now and they're both a 1-minute read, right? It takes me 60 seconds to read the article. I won't get past the opening paragraph of the combined no-hitter of all the guys that even threw it. Because I immediately lose interest. Like, okay, that's cool, whatever. But if it's an actual no-hitter and one guy throws it, I'll read the one.
Right, which you just said. By the way, though, you just said an actual no-hitter.
Okay,
You're sitting here saying it's the same
I was
thing,
just
and
about to say.
and you're saying it's not the same thing.
All right, I did say that.
We need to stop.
No, it's super hard regardless, right? And it's
No.
Is it?
No.
Is it?
Dude, I was just about to say.
And it's cool when it happens, right?
No.
It's hard.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe.
Brett, hold on.
Obviously,
Ant,
all
what are you
chips are
trying to
in
say?
on the one guy that throws a no-hitter. I think it's way cooler, but the other one still counts.
Brett's not wrong, but I'm going to take a harder stance. We need to stop calling combined no-hitters no-hitters. I don't care. I don't care.
Agree.
Look, a no-hitter is when one guy goes out there and gets 27 outs without allowing a base hit. If someone goes out there and gets 18 outs without allowing a base hit, you know how many times that's been done in history? Not that cool, because there's been guys who get 26 and there's 9 outs or 2 outs in the 9th inning and they'll allow a hit. Guess what? You're not in history. No one cares. So you mean to tell me if someone gets like 6 innings of no-hit ball and then they give it over to 3 schmucks who can get 3 outs without allowing a hit, that is not a no-hitter in my book. That's not even front page worthy. The Astros threw one of those in the World Series, and I don't even think people cared about it. I
didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
It's stupid.
No,
because it doesn't matter.
Agree.
I hate that.
I completely agree. I think it's like too much. Sorry, Brett. We're like ganging up on you.
No, I mean I think he agrees. We're kind of being radical here.
No. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna double down and go harder. No, because you're right, Ant. We're just both like ratcheting each other up. This feels like you're arguing a technicality, and then when you actually start to argue this technicality with someone, they go, well, when you talk about an actual, babe, you just said actual no-hitter versus bullpen no-hitter. That implies that there isn't a no-hitter, and then there's this bullshit that you call a no-hitter, which we all know is not one. Yeah, on the scoreboard, on the book, technically there are no hits, but are we talking about the same thing? And I would actually argue that if you're a pitcher in your life who has ever thrown a no-hitter, it would be insulting for like 6 guys to say they did the same thing you did, because it's clearly a lot harder, and we should have a lot more respect for the guys who do it solo.
You know what this is like? This is like it's like someone goes out there and runs the Chicago Marathon, and they're like, hey, I ran the Chicago Marathon. And then like you and a group of 10 other of your boys do a relay race and you each run like 2 miles each, and you're like, yo,
2 miles of it.
we ran the marathon
We
too.
ran the marathon.
Yeah, so
That's
no,
an
you didn't.
incredible
You did
analogy.
not run the
All right,
marathon.
Look. One.
No, I mean they did. Technically, that pin
They
made it
didn't.
all the way,
No, screw
but
that.
like, yeah, I'm just saying.
They ran in the Chicago Marathon, meaning these guys threw in the no-hitter. Look,
No.
Okay, they
they
pitched
threw
a
in it. They
game.
were okay. Look. All right, look. You guys have changed my stance. I'm with you guys. Look, I
We
never really
bullied
thought
him.
about it until this conversation. I've been persuaded. Okay, I'm with you guys. I agree.
We bullied him to change his stance.
Yeah.
No, and not even that. I mean, you made some good points, and subconsciously, I really said in the actual no-hitter. So it's like I always, yeah.
Now,
You really did.
I was watching a game on MLB Network, and by the way, what a sick job that would be for to be on MLB tonight and just sit with Harold Reynolds and just watch baseball games all night. Like I would love to do that. But no, they were
Not even
watching.
work.
Yeah, it's not, dude. I do that anyway. Like they get paid to do what I do for free.
You just
With
can't
the
hear
projector
you.
in your room playing Rocket League.
Yeah. So
The fans, I think, need to see your setup. By the way,
Oh, yeah,
I think
it's
you need
tough.
to take a picture.
I might bring that up next. I might have a little picture for it
You're
next
gonna
show.
have to.
The
You're gonna
setup's
have
tough. But
Yeah.
I was listening to them. They were watching a no-hitter, and they were kind of joking but not joking. So they found out that he had a no-no going, and he was going into like the 6th or 7th inning. And Harold Reynolds started asking like, oh, what's his pitch count? And then they tell him, he's like, oh, he might make it. It's like, in my head, should the pitch count, do pitch counts really matter? They made a big deal about it. Like, has he thrown too many pitches? Is he going to be able to finish it? Will it turn into a combined no-no because he threw too many? Thank God he ended up getting it. But what did you guys think? Are pitch counts that big of a deal to where, you know, you should pay attention to him and you should pull a guy in a no-hitters, or if he's pitching real well just because he's throwing around 100 pitches early in the season? Like, where you guys stand on that?
Look, I'll say that I'll jump before Brett does because I know, has a lot of the technical know-how, so he's probably going to talk about like how actual baseball is played. But from a fan's perspective, I'll say this. I understand that game management is obviously part of it, right? Like you gas out a guy in one game, you can't use him for so many other games, you'll be tired, whatever. But to me, it's sad that I am now, like I said, getting notifications on my phone about a no-hitter, and I'm wondering if they're going to pull the guy. That should be no question that if a guy is doing so well that he's about to win this game, get a no-hitter, make some kind of other, feat in pitching, there should be no question that we're going to pull him. Let the man pitch. And I don't think these pitchers want to be pulled either on the cusp of doing some really awesome shit just because they're getting dangerously close to 100. Who decided this? And when did that become a thing? And why are we okay with it? Why is a fan, am I like, did he get to do it or did he not? I don't know. Like, that shouldn't be a question. What are we doing here? No wonder is all I'm going to say about this sport, because shit like this are questions that we have.
All right, Brett, follow that
Was
up.
that enough?
Brett, follow that up.
I don't know if I can follow that up. And I like that Lisa said as a fan perspective, because I can 110% agree with what she was saying. However, I'm going to say two things. One, at the beginning of the year, every team has bigger fish to fry than a guy's no-hitter. So, yes, you got to take him out because, early on in the year, you don't want to get a guy hurt, especially with what we're talking about later on, guys with elbow injuries.
And we can talk about that, Brett, because I have a rebuttal for that, but keep going.
Trying to prevent injuries and everything, right? They have bigger fish to fry than just that. They have playoff intentions, right? And this guy can't get hurt, right? So that's step number one. Two, and I think what people don't talk about and what I think is it also pans on where a team is at. You mean to tell me if the Oakland A's right now had a guy at 120 pitches in the 8th inning and he was 6 outs away from a no-hitter, they have no chance of making the playoffs, even though we're 14 games into the season. I think they let him ride because they need literally anything positive for
Let's
that
be
fan.
realistic. No one in Oakland's throwing a no-hitter.
Yeah, okay, but I'm just saying, if something weird was to happen, if the sky was falling and something weird like that is to happen, right? The Oakland A's, they let that ride, right? But teams that have playoff implications, teams that have a real playoff hopes and chances, right? I think they really do take that, and they take them out. And on the back end of it, I will say a team that already knows they're going to make playoffs and there's an inning limit, right? I think they'll also pull guys, and I don't disagree with that because playoffs is more important. They did it with CC Sabathia one year. I think it was the Rays actually. I do think that CC Sabathia had a no-hitter going against the Rays in like the fifth or sixth inning. And they pulled him because they were gearing up for playoffs, right? It was probably his last start or second to last start before they were going to run him out there. They had bigger fish to fry. And what Lisa had said also, they're competitors, right? They're playing at the biggest stage of baseball. Of course, they don't want to come out, but like that's what the manager's for. That's what coaches are for because they see the bigger picture when players, right? They're just focused in the moment. So, from a
So
fan perspective, of course, you don't want to see him taken out.
Well,
I'm actually
let me.
I'm working
But
on a
from a team
video.
perspective,
I'm
it's
working on a
more.
video right now because this whole Ronel Blanco thing, watching MLB Network, them talking about pitch counts. I mean, we've seen it all the time where a guy has a no hitter, he gets pulled because he's pitch counts like at 100 in the seventh inning or eighth inning or something. So I'm working on a video right now that looks at pitch counts and why it's there, injuries, and there's some evidence to say that pitch counts don't really stop injuries. And we'll talk about that later too, probably right after this, about just the epidemic of injuries that are happening. But in Ronel Blanco's case, man, how do you tell a journeyman who's like 30 years old and has barely played in the big leagues, and this is like his opening start of the year, and he's shoving it up the Rangers, or the Blue Jays, and you're gonna pull him from the game when he's throwing a no hitter? Like, this is his moment. I think a lot of guys would rather. They don't really care about other stuff. They just want to have like their career moment, and if they're having a career night, let them remember that. But no, I don't think pitch count really stops injuries, though. I mean, you look at it.
Well, hold on, Ant, because I just want to say one more thing before we get into like the injury thing, because that's kind of its own part of this weird thing that we're talking about with no hitter specifically. But like, again, from the fan perspective, I think this is the kind, and I'm very hesitant to say this, but this is the kind of thing that I think like really can ruin baseball, because when you take him out, right? And you're taking away this moment from this guy, you're also taking away that moment from me as a fan who did not know who this guy was because I'm not an Astros fan. And now I know his name and I know what happened. And that makes me engaged because I can talk to people and say, whoa, did you see there was like this no hitter the other night? Like, how interesting. And I might be looking that up. And instead, when you take that away for gameplay for next week or next 3 weeks or next month or playoffs or whatever, you're taking away this moment for fans to engage. We're taking away the cool parts of the sport. It's the same thing that the pitch clock was trying to fix by putting these balls back in play so we can actually watch some cool shit going down. It's the same reason that I'm against these guys throwing a hissy fit over someone jumping over them at second base when they're sliding. These are the athletic, interesting parts of this sport, okay, that constantly gets bashed for being boring. And you want to take them out for your, and Brett, I like respect your actual baseball knowledge. I really do. But you're taking this fun shit out that is fun for me to watch. And you're taking shit out that I want to watch. At this point, just run the damn games on an algorithm with the stats that you have and let me know what the final scores are, because what do I need to watch for?
Well, shout out Jeff McNeil for yelling at Reese Hoskins when he slid into the bag. But yeah.
And then
know.
apparently, then in the pitcher hitting Reese Hoskins later. So
Yeah, well,
I just want to say, I hope that I'm passionate. I hope one day I'm passionate about something as much as Lisa's passionate
about anything,
about this
anything.
no hitter thing, because we try to be family friendly. Shout out Nash, 9 years old, trying to watch the show, and he was hearing the S word a couple times out of Lisa's mouth. So how fired up Lisa is and how passionate she is about this. I hope I'm as passionate about something today.
I'm passionate about everything like this, so be careful.
No, I wouldn't say anything bad. I love it. I love that you're getting fired up right now. I love it.
Yeah. So if anyone's
but as
interested
a fan perspective, I want to say I completely agree with Lisa.
If anyone's interested in
early
pitch
on in the
count,
season, you've got to watch out for guys. So like I definitely see where she's coming from, and I can agree. But like let me put it like this before we move on. I know you're trying to move on. Like, I want to be a head college coach one day, and if our one of our starters, right, first, second start of the year, and he's at 80 pitches through 5 2/3 or 6 1/3 inning, and got a no hitter going, I don't care. I'm pulling him.
Nah, I'd let him ride. Just give him more rest. I'm letting him ride.
I'd have to pull him.
I'm
Of
letting
course,
him
the
ride.
competitor wants to stay in, but it's like, you're caring about, his well-being and whatnot. This would be a good conversation for Posey to have.
So then,
actually.
yeah, it would be. I'll tell. And Posey's probably listening to me. He's like, "Ant, you're so wrong, bro. You got to pull him, bro. That kid's arm's gonna fall off." And I'm like, "Yeah, you got to
this would
know.
be a great time to have Posey on the call.
Yeah, you got to know your pitcher too, right?"
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
But I would say if you're interested in like pitch count, why it's there, where it come from, stay tuned for my video because I've actually learned a lot about why pitch count's there, what it was there for, what it actually does if it has any effect, and also why 100 seems like it's the magic number for pitch count. Like, where did they come up with that number? I've been learning about. So stay tuned. I'll have that video out soon about pitch count.
So also can't stress enough how much I love it when Lisa gets fired up. It's probably my favorite thing about the show.
It scares me.
I love it. I hope she gets fired up again before the show's over tonight.
Yo,
I hope they don't take away things like no hitters, because then I'll stop watching the game and I'll never get fired up.
So do we want to talk about
we need like noisemakers every time she gets fired up. Like we need some noisemakers
we need to put a graphic on the screen that just says
it.
deep breath, like breathe in, breathe out, calm down.
No, unnecessary.
Do we want to
No.
talk about the
Not
Tommy
needed.
John epidemic that's happening right now? So
Yeah,
you
I mean, I
got-
think it kind of relates, right?
Yeah, 100%. We're talking about injuries and trying to save pitchers' health and stuff. So you got a lot of pitchers that are undergoing Tommy John. It's increasing at an alarming rate. I mean, you got Garrett Cole out. He doesn't have Tommy John, but he's got like elbow issues or forearm issues. Same thing with Spencer Strider getting an MRI. And you're talking about like the top names in the game, like pitchers who are studs. You want to see them on the mound because they're electric. Yuri
Not to
Perez.
mention, also correct me if I'm wrong, but you got to also think, I'm not sure if it's elbow or what it is, but Verlander's not even back yet.
He's coming back.
soon,
He's
but
coming back off
he's-
something.
Yeah, he's coming back off something. If it's elbow, I don't know, but it very well may be.
Yeah, Verlander, Johnny Lasagna.
And
Shane
Loiza's
Bieber.
a tip. Loiza's a tip.
Oh, it's his hip? Dude, I thought he
Yeah.
was getting Tommy John too.
Nah, he like tore something in his hip or has a really bad strain or
Oh,
something.
well, no pitch counts helping that.
Oh, somebody has like an ACL. Maybe that's him. Like someone has some
It has
sort of
something to
weird...
do with his hip. That's
Yeah.
Well, we're
I
seeing a
saw he
lot
was out
of
for the year and immediately stopped reading because I was just in a bad mood.
we're seeing a lot of just a rise of pitchers' arms getting blown up. And the MLBPA actually just came out today and said, "Hey, like baseball put out the pitch clock, and we don't know how this affects injuries. We tried to there was unanimous support to say don't lower the time this year, and MLB did it anyway. So they were kind of clapping at MLB for the pitch clock. What do you guys think that? What is the reason? How much is the pitch clock to blame for this? Is it other factors? Is it pitch count? Brett's showing a donut. Well, then what is it, Brett? What's the cause, Brett, in your head?
Yeah, what is the cause, Brett? Because I'm gonna say something. I'm
Lisa's
like
already
5
riled
seconds
up. Lisa's already
I'm 5
riled
seconds
up.
from a rant. So go ahead, Brett.
I low-key want Lisa to go because I know she's about to go on a rant again, and I love it. But honestly,
I was like, don't tempt me.
This might be a super hot take because guys have been throwing hard for a long time, but you see the average velocity, not year by year, but every 3 years or so, tick up half a mile to a mile an hour. Like you go back to 2012, right? Versus 2014. Go back to 2014. And then take 2014 average velocity on fastballs. Go 4 years from there, 2018, right? And then you keep going up till you get to 2024. And it's always an incline. And guys have been throwing hard, right? But I think now we're getting to the point where the average fastball velocity is getting so high that I do think that is causing most of the arm injuries. Now, of course, you get overuse, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. But I would be super comfortable in saying that the reason guys are getting hurt is because they're throwing harder and harder and harder. And that's just my opinion.
No, I mean, I think. Oh, sorry. Did you want to jump in?
No,
it? 'Cause
Sam, what
this
do
might-
you think, Lisa?
Okay.
I'm just not
I
sure.
don't-
I need to mentally prepare myself for this rant
I
here.
was gonna say, I think that you, Brett, are. I mean, you're on the money, right? I mean, it's obvious. Like you look back at. I mean, you're telling me that some guy named like Shoeless Joe Johnson or what? I mean, that's
Close.
actually a guy, but yeah,
Not really,
But my
but
point
almost
is,
there.
or some random like White Sox Mickey. He's out there, and you're telling me him with his alcohol addiction was throwing at 98 miles an hour. No, that wasn't happening. It's only been in the last few years that we've had this obsession with velocity. And again, I think this goes back to let's make baseball as boring as possible. Because look, if you just want to throw balls that are 101 miles per hour,
It's pretty
then put a
exciting.
machine
100 miles an
put a
hour is
machine
exciting
out
to
there.
see, though.
I'm just saying, look, put a machine out there. This is very clearly we are edging at the limit of human elbow
We're what?
velocity.
Yeah, back.
Sorry. Go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt.
No, but I'm just saying, like, the reason these guys are getting hurt is because they're pitching so fast.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
If all you care about is pitching fast, then put a machine out there with AI and just have it record whatever pitch you want to throw and have that throw it, right? But if you're actually caring about like what pitching is and location and like the actual skill of pitching, then I think we need to take it a step back for the players. And I think again, this goes back to let's make baseball interesting, right? When you're putting these balls in play, to say that it's the pitch clock
Yeah,
is
it's
insane.
dumb.
And actually, Garrett Cole said the same thing. Like maybe not as strongly as I'm saying it, but I read an interview with him coming back from his injury, and he was saying like he's not necessarily for the decreased time in the pitch clock because as you guys know, we went from 20 seconds down to 18 seconds. So in his point, I think he's got one. You know, how much more advertising space are you selling for 2 seconds? I get his point, but he's also saying like it's very clear that there's other things going into this, including, you know,
Well,
the way that front offices are caring more about velocity than they're caring about their pitchers or the game.
let me
like,
jump
so
in.
It's
So,
clear. Yeah, go ahead.
With what Cole said, he's right until like when he said advertising for 2 seconds. It's not about the advertising.
Yeah,
bro.
I know.
It's about,
yeah.
It's about getting the. No one wants to see you grab your junk for 30 seconds in between pitches. So that's
No, but
that's
I mean, I thought it was a fair point.
Not
like,
really.
yeah, what?
Not
2
really.
seconds? Okay, sure. I'll give it to him.
if 2 seconds is no big deal, then why do you care if you have it or not? So,
That was my point when we talked about
anyways,
this.
though, but Chris Bassett, like you said, Cole probably, and Justin Verlander too. He was just interviewed today. There's a video of him on Twitter. They're all saying, well, Chris Bassett specifically was saying, yeah, it's guys are throwing plus stuff. They're throwing hard. Human elbow is not made for this. He said you'll have a guy with a lower ERA who throws 90 miles an hour, and he's left off the roster, but a guy with a higher ERA who throws a hundo, he'll still be on the roster. So they don't even care about the stats. They just want guys who have that stuff on them. And naturally, if you have a roster full of guys who are exceeding the limit for what's possible, and they're throwing 100 miles an hour and 92 mile an hour changeups and sliders, yeah, the injuries are gonna rise compared to like 20 years ago, where the average fastball was 91, like Brett was saying. Average fastball in 2008 was like 91.4 miles an hour. Now it's like 94 miles an hour. So it's a 3 mile difference. Obviously, you're gonna get injuries. I don't think pitch clock is what's causing it. Justin Verlander did bring up something interesting that I didn't even think about. He said in 2016 when MLB changed the baseballs and kind of juiced up the balls a little bit, he had to change the way he was pitching to try to miss some bats. It was more about swing and miss than it was about getting contact. So
that's interesting.
Maybe
That
this is
makes
something
sense,
that
yeah.
MLB has done to themselves because that whole era too with the juice ball thing is kind of confusing because apparently they were juicing some balls but not all the balls.
Fever dream, almost.
I think a lot of this can go back to changes that MLB made that are questionable for everyone involved, including like fans and players. But yeah, I mean, I think that's totally right. And by the way, watching Blanco pitch, he's going on, almost his second no-hitter. Obviously he didn't finish it, but he's throwing like 80. He's throwing in the 80s, 84, 87. Yeah, I don't is it that cool, I guess would be my question. Like if you're a fan, and I am one, and there's a guy who throws with like skill, the ball gets put into play, he's striking guys out with like slower balls, or a guy who's like basically a one-trick pony who's got like a really fast fastball. I mean, I'd rather watch a Blanco. You know what I mean?
think you
like
need
that's
both.
just more interesting.
You need both. Both are interesting.
Also,
That's fair.
something incredibly interesting. I was just looking up on my phone and while you were talking, the average spin rate on sliders since 2014 has gone up tremendously.
Yeah, and they're throwing different kinds of sliders now, like the implement of the sweeper.
And so tremendously is, take that word with a grain of salt. But
No, yeah.
the
Well, is that
yeah.
because of like this velocity issue, or is that I was reading somewhere that like all this slider stuff is really coming from like the slider being so big in Japan, and now
That's
we're
the
getting so many
splitter. You're
Japanese
thinking
pitch.
about the splitter
Oh,
there.
okay.
Yeah,
My
split.
bad, my bad.
Typically, while I was looking it up, the average spin rate on the slider has gone up since 2014, and of course, you can assume that that is the same with the fastball. So,
Yeah.
you kind of put two and two together. You're seeing more injuries now than in 2014, more 2014 than 2006, right? So, you kind of put the spin rate up with the velocity, get more guys getting hurt. It's not so much of a question mark as to why this is happening. So,
Now,
just on that end.
I don't know how we're doing on time. Do we have enough time to talk about the clown show that's happening out in Oakland?
We are
Yeah,
at
let's
9:09.
rip it.
Okay. Well, yeah, exactly that. Clown show in Oakland. John Fisher is officially probably the worst owner in all of sports. They're going to be leaving Oakland, heading over to Sacramento. All right.
Yep.
They're going to be playing in a
All that.
stadium, Sutter Health. I don't know how to say it. I'm never good at reading. But
2026 though, correct?
dude, they're there until like they get a stadium in Vegas, which isn't even officialized. So they got, is that a word, officialized? It's not even officiated.
No.
It's not officialized or officiated. They got a
Just you can
14.
say official.
That's not fun though. 14,000 fans, and John Fisher's talking about how they're gonna move, and he says can't wait to see players hit home runs at that stadium. Like players like, and you think he's gonna name like Brent Rooker, like dudes on the A's.
Somebody on the A's.
He says Aaron Judge. I can't wait to see Aaron Judge hit home runs here. So that was dumb.
That's a terrible look.
You also got
That's a terrible look.
you also got what's going on. It's called wristband gate. So it's like the A's are trying to lose. First of all, they make tons of errors. They can't win ball games. Although they won a couple, but I mean, congrats. Like, I don't care. You stink. Okay. And then you send down the guy who led the American League in stolen bases last year, and he was hitting 430 when they sent him down through the first 3 games of the year, which isn't a lot. But I mean, how do you send that guy down? Apparently, have you heard of wristband gate?
Nope.
I love a good conspiracy.
So
Right.
wristband gate is allegedly, there's this fan group called Last Dive Bar, and they're very vocal about the A's trying to leave Vegas or trying to leave Oakland to go to Vegas, and they hate John Fisher. Estrui Ruiz, who's the guy they sent down, was seen wearing a wristband, and apparently he got sent down because he was wearing that wristband. So now everyone who's wearing a wristband starts disappearing. Images are starting to emerge. I don't know if you can see it in the Google Docs of like Harambe had the wristband on at one point, allegedly. And then the CIA took Harambe out. Like, this thing goes deep. It goes pretty deep.
I did hear about that.
Yeah.
Is that what got Diddy? Was it a wristband issue?
No, I think Diddy's involved in some way. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay, just wondering. Yeah, just
But-
thought I'd check.
And then they also found a paper during one of the Oakland home games. They found a paper out in right field which said, if you see anything that says rooted in Oakland, it must be taken down immediately, which makes sense because they're moving to Vegas now. Supposed to be, allegedly. No one really knows. But let me ask you guys, what is the most messed up part of all this? I mean, it's such a clown show. It's a circus. You got wristband gate. You got the paper out in right field. And then you got them moving to Sacramento for God knows how long. And they only can seat 14,000 fans. And the owner of the team says himself, you can't wait to see Aaron Judge hit home runs against his team. So what's the worst part?
Probably, I would say I'll weigh in immediately. I think the worst part is the fact that arguably you're going to get better turnout, but at least have the capacity to have more turnout at independent ball games than in MLB games. I think that's probably the worst part. And that's not me dissing indie ball whatsoever. Not at all. Those boys can play.
You're one of those boys.
Yeah, it's just shoot. I mean, I leave in about a month to go play my indie ball season. But I mean, the fact that independent teams can hold a larger crowd than what the Oakland A's will. That's rough. I mean, it's really bad. That's, basically saying, hey man, like, we know that our fan base isn't great. And not saying because, Oakland people don't love A's baseball. It's just that that's where the owner has kind of gotten it to, is that
I was gonna
we'll
say
sit 14 grand, we'll sit 14K, but in reality, we probably won't get 14K out to the field because
they won't.
Everybody.
won't.
I was gonna say, Lisa, if you're in Sacramento and you hear the A's are coming to town,
tough.
are you really excited for the A's? Like,
No,
you don't want that trash
Not at
not at all.
coming to town.
And I don't see how there's absolutely no chance on God's green earth that they will sell out any games in
Nope.
Sacramento, in my opinion.
No doubt.
And at this point, and I'll admit my ignorance here. I don't really know how MLB, like, as an organization, and these owners have to work together. Like, I don't know how that works, but to me, the biggest foul here is just like, how has MLB not stepped in at this point? It has become such a clown show. We should just rename the Oakland A's like the Savannah Bananas, because this is like complete buffoonery. And at this point, like, not only is it affecting now the team, like the franchise of the Oakland A's, because who wants them now? Like, with all of this
Not even
going
Vegas
on,
wants him at this point.
Vegas, right? Vegas doesn't want them. Their fans at home don't want them. They're running out of options. It's affecting the fan base, right? You've completely disenfranchised an entire region, right? This is crazy. And then on top of that, let's not forget, until the A's figure out what the heck they're doing about this Vegas move, we can't expand the league. So how no one stepped in and be like, yo, this is a mess. And I don't know, again, maybe you guys can tell me, like, I don't know how that is necessarily policed, or if this owner can just like do whatever he wants, but this is just out of control from a business perspective.
Yeah, I think the other owners can make him sell if they all vote to make him sell. And the league would step in and be like, yo, you got to sell the team. Like, we're forcing you to sell the team. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if any owners would do that.
I think this is like what the Rays are going to be in like 5 years. So we'll see.
Well, and that's what I was just going to say. Like, I doubt any owners would do that, just because then it kind of puts them all up for grabs, right? Like, let's say this happens in 5 years with the Rays. Now we're going to do the same thing and vote out Sternberg or whatever. So yeah, I don't know how this goes. This is insane. This is like so, it just makes me mad and for the fans in Oakland.
Yeah.
Because they do not deserve
The difference
this.
is, though, the Rays are successful, and they always
Are they?
Yes.
Yeah. always
Lisa,
gonna be
you
above-
are an actual idiot and a nincompoop and a cotton-headed nitty muffins if you don't think that the Rays are successful, because they've made the playoffs in like
Rays?
5 years. They have made the
Never
playoffs
heard of
more
them.
than the Yankees have in the last 5 years. So yeah, I think they're pretty
Never heard-
successful.
As a literal diehard Yankees fan, the Rays have had more success
Thank
in
you.
the last 3 years.
Thank you.
I am just a casual fan, and I'm going to come in and say all I know now is that I keep hearing about the Yankees. So I don't know who the Rays are. I've never met her. That's all I got.
But yeah, if anyone had me dropping cotton-headed nitty muffins on the show tonight on their bingo card, that's plus 1,000,000 points to you.
Actually, I think that gives me bingo.
A lot of BS crap in baseball. Baseball's been good lately, but we got some things we need to fix. We're short on time. We still got to get through. Let's get through fair or foul now. Let's start getting a little happy.
Or it's time for Brett. You got to do it with me. Are you ready?
Oh God.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right. Fair
or foul.
or foul.
That was terrible.
Way off
Yankee
line
fans
there.
not knowing what they're doing. All right. I don't know if you guys got the Google Doc out, but go ahead and take a look at that if you guys have it. We're gonna look at Byron Buxton getting attacked by a sausage last week. That's an interesting thing. Like Byron Buxton is Byron Buxton is a guy who is so good, but he keeps getting injured. This would have been so crazy of an injury to happen, and obviously it's Byron Buxton who almost got bulldozed by a sausage out in Milwaukee.
Literally always hurt. For you guys that aren't familiar with Byron Buxton or his injury past, this guy's literally always hurt.
So fair or foul, sausage race out in Milwaukee almost taking out Byron Buxton.
I cannot love the Brewers more. It's getting ridiculous. Like, it's getting actually weird how much every time I see something from them, I love it. I love this. This is totally fair. I almost wish she'd been taken out just for the story, like just for the plot. That would have been hilarious.
Dude, who is that? It looks like an NFL safety coming in on a wide receiver.
Yeah, these are linebackers coming down.
Do you think the real
terrifying.
question? I'm just continuing to watch this on loop right now. Do you
me
think you would
too.
have been more concerned if Aaron Donald was racing at him with full pads on, or this 9-foot sausage costume? I think I'd rather Aaron Donald running at me than this.
These sausage boys are terrifying.
I know the NFL draft is coming up soon, and I think the sausage might go third round.
By the way,
yeah,
he would have gotten ran over, bulldozed, and I would bet my paycheck this week that he would have had to come out that game.
Byron Buxton's a
But-
big boy. He you could probably say
He is a big
Buxton's
boy.
like 6'2". I think that sausage is towering over him. I think he's going in the draft.
That sausage is at least 9 feet.
I think that
No, but-
he's on the board for the NFL draft. Like they're definitely scouting him out after seeing this.
Amazing reflexes here.
So,
I mean,
fair
Buxton-
I think
foul.
someone pulled him in.
Yeah,
oh,
no,
you're right.
yeah.
Now I see the hand. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I think
So I was
someone
gonna give
like,
him
"Hey, man,
props.
get back in here."
I was gonna give him props for being an athlete, but no, he this is actually worse. Than
How do we feel about this? Fair or foul on the sausage races?
Fair. I love these guys. It's so terrifying.
I'm gonna give the sausage a foul because he didn't finish the hit. He
Okay,
missed this
but-
guy. He missed this guy. I mean, the target's there. You missed the guy. He juked you. You got spun move. The guy's in the end zone now. He's doing a dance. Foul. Finish your
It's
hit, bro.
fair.
Finish your hit. You got to make the tackles.
It's fair. It's only foul if he makes the hit. I mean, although the sausage run is super cool, love it. Right? They're there not for that. They're there for the players and Byron Buxton and what have you. So definitely.
Shout out number 3. That guy is just off to the races. Let's go to
yeah,
the
he
other fair or foul.
Do you
here.
know who won?
No. Byron
Okay.
Buxton won because he got to survive.
Yeah.
Uh,
Fair.
The Philadelphia Phillies came out with their City Connect. I don't know if you guys can see it there. What do you guys make of the new City Connect? Fair or foul? Fair or foul? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it the best
Foul.
thing ever?
Foul. The hat is cool. I do like the hat.
I agree.
But I think they've just given up on the City Connect jerseys. And it kind of tracks because everything we're seeing from Nike with baseball jerseys lately, it just seems like no one cared. Like they almost like forgot that they had to make jerseys and then they like did the bare minimum, and that is what this is giving.
Yeah, I agree. It's foul. I double thumbs down. Lisa kind of hit the nail right on the head. The hat's super cool. I think, and like, I don't know, maybe it's because I haven't eaten dinner yet and it's 9:21, but maybe some sort of Philly cheesesteak design would have been super off the wall and maybe could have played. Right?
Yo,
I
get
mean,
Brett
I
in the
am
Nike
hungry,
Nike directive.
I don't hate that.
Get Brett.
I don't hate
Get
that
Brett in
idea.
the Nike
hate,
boy.
like a Philly cheesesteak type, move for the City Connect, like something crazy off the wall. I think that would have been
Damn.
I
Now that
don't
you say
know.
that,
way better.
that sounds
than what
really
they
good.
did.
That sounds really good.
Do
now
you
that say
have
that.
this on screen, Ant?
Yes,
like,
yes,
for
yes.
people to see. So like the fact that he looks so tough, like holding his jersey, and then it's just this. Like I really
No,
but imagine
I'm-
that with
I'm
like
going
a
the
Philly
opposite.
cheesesteak.
That would be really cool. But I'm going it's fair. I think it's really cool. Now that he said Philly cheese, I'm like, oh, that's a lot better.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's get Brett
Imagine
on
this
the Nike.
close.
But no, I'm gonna say it's fair. This is really cool. We're talking about Philly, so they're going with like the blue collar theme. I like how the hat is. The hat's the best part of this whole thing. With the
Hat is the
Liberty
best
Bell.
part.
But also
it's
they
cool.
have they have the bell. It's so small on the sleeve. Like that's so significant.
Well, because it's the
to what
city of brotherly
Philadelphia
love.
is.
It's in like love.
Yeah, but it's so small. It's like, dude, you
It's
gotta
on
make
the
that
hat. What do you want? You want it like on their
Bro.
Johnson?
bigger. Bigger on the jersey too, man.
You want a bell on their Johnson on their
like-
booty cheek?
Hey.
Look, I know that Philly, like
Hey.
they're very proud of their blue collarness, and I'm not taking that away from them. But like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's blue collar people pretty much
You
everywhere. I don't think
guys,
that's like
yeah, I
a
thought the
Philly
same thing.
specific thing.
So you
Go
guys
into
say
any city and there's gonna be construction work and people.
No, Brad, actually,
Working
you're
hard.
wrong. They're just in Philadelphia.
You
and
guys-
how dare you?
Oh,
you guys say
really? I've been to
foul.
other cities, but I don't know.
You guys say foul. I say fair, but I think we can all agree that it should have been a Philly cheesesteak design. That would have been really cool.
100%.
All right, the next
100%.
one we're gonna do fair or foul. We got 2 celebrations. We got one in Detroit. It's Little Caesars Pizza home run celebration. And then we have another one that is, I don't know if you're familiar with him, Sketch from Twitch, popular Twitch streamer.
Sketch.
Yeah, we got Sketch, Bryce
What's up,
Harper,
brother?
and I think that's Josh Naylor on the Guardians hitting his best. Like, Tuesday. What's up, brother? Fair or foul? How do we feel about these home run celebrations?
Pizza, fair, other thing, foul.
Other thing.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Tuesday.
All right. Well, Lisa's a girl, so obviously she doesn't know. who
She's
Sketch
just a
is.
girl, bro. She's
Thank-
just a girl.
Thanks for
That's a girl.
noticing.
I'm gonna actually. So this could be an incredibly hot take. Sketch definitely fair. The pizza attention to detail. That is not and maybe I've watched way too many Detroit, Dave Portnoy pizza reviews.
One bite,
That
everyone
is
knows the rules.
not That is
Hold
not
on.
a that hold up. That is not
You're
a
right.
true Detroit style pizza. That's not what a Detroit
It's
That
style
is a
pizza
good
looks
point.
I'll
like.
explain
So
it.
I'm gonna go foul. If you're gonna do it right. That's not a Detroit style.
Look,
That's
look, look,
a
look. I can
really good
explain it.
point.
I can explain it. They're doing Little Caesars, I think, is like Detroit. Like Little Caesars, the pizza place, that's from Detroit. I know like the
Oh,
Red
so it's
Wings is
like
Little
the
Caesars. It's the spear that he has with the pizza on it.
okay.
Does
That's
that
a fair.
change it? Does that change it?
Yes.
Okay,
Still
that
fair.
does that. So did Little Caesars originate in Detroit?
I think so. Well, the Red Wings arena is Little Caesars arena. I think the Lions
Fair.
or something. I don't know
Okay.
what they're.
I need
Yes,
no
that,
other
that
information.
okay. Yes, that changes my perspective on it. I'll give that fair
Okay,
now
Yeah.
that
cool.
you enlightened me on this information. But honestly, shout out to me for even knowing the fact that
Yeah,
Detroit
that was
is
impressive.
square and not round.
That was
And
impressive.
also, quick thing, told Jordan, she's probably in the living room right now, overhearing our conversation. She knows I'm doing a baseball YouTube podcast video, and we're talking about Little Caesars Pizza is it Detroit? Like, what are you guys talking about? They've
We're
got to
getting
be done
heated.
right.
We're getting heated. That's
Yeah,
what fair
right.
foul
Yeah,
is.
since you dropped that knowledge on me, I'll give both a fair. But I
Thank
mean, yeah,
you.
shout out to me for dropping some knowledge on you guys.
All
If
right.
you guys just keep
Facts.
saying Tuesday, though, that like makes it extra foul.
The
Like, I
universe
don't know
gives and the universe takes. Me, I only take.
I think he's low-key mimicking Donald Trump.
100%.
Yeah, I thought that was a Donald Trump
Nope,
thing
that's
you were
sketch.
doing.
That is sketch.
That's
But
sketch.
Okay.
I'll go fair on the pizza, fair on sketch. Although be a little bit more creative. Everyone's riding sketch right now. Let's hop over,
I
man.
don't. Who is sketch? Okay, let's go to our.
Get
Let's
with
go
the
to our
times.
map.
Let's
I know. Let's
look
go to
at
the
next.
matchups.
Let's look at next week's matchup and call it a day. I think we said we weren't going to go long, and I think we went pretty dang long. Let's look at the standing or midweek's matchups. Talking about happening currently midweek. We got interesting matchup. I think Orioles and Red Sox is what I'm looking forward to.
I am.
Yeah. Everything else, Marlins, Yankees. We know if the Yankees don't sweep the Marlins, I think
We got a problem.
Yeah, they're
Yankees will find a way to
now.
lose one, I'm sure.
Um. I like Tigers Pirates. I think Tigers aren't doing too bad either potentially. So let's see how that does. I mean, we're looking at the Pirates, so
I think
we'll
Rays and Angels. It might be interesting because they're both kind of like you don't know what they're doing yet. You don't know if they're good yet. They're both probably pretty average.
well, let's see if the Rays get like a mid-series meeting and then they come out and they just dominate. Maybe
I would
that'll
say
change
definitely mid-season or midweek matchup of the week. If that is midweek matchup of the week, is the weekly midweek matchup of the week is definitely Orioles Red Sox. I think that's going to be the best.
Sure. Can I give a sleeper weekend matchup for you guys?
Yeah, let's hop over to the weekend matchups right now. What do you got?
Just a sleeper now. Pirates Phillies.
Yeah, I can see it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that as a sleeper.
Yep.
I don't think it's a sleeper. I mean, we're talking about the Pirates, but yeah, I totally agree.
That's going to be a good one. I fully expect the Pirates to win that one, too. I really like that.
How do we feel about
Angels, Red Sox?
the Rangers and the Astros getting another weekend like game?
Kind
You
of
know what I
annoying.
mean?
Like we have Rangers,
Because-
Astros, and Dodgers twice 2 weekends in a row.
Yeah.
They just swap channels. That's it.
Yeah, I don't like this. I feel like we should have gotten. Who would you have rather seen? I would almost rather see
I wouldn't have mind.
maybe Pirates, Phillies.
Honestly, looking at these matchups, I do kind of want to watch the Rangers, Astros again. And honestly, they probably did.
Giants.
Looking at these matchups, they probably did pick the best matchups that I would want to see. So
Fair.
I talk
but
crap.
Giants Rays could be potentially interesting.
I wouldn't want. I'd rather watch
Um,
the other ones coming from a Rays fan too. Sleeper
So
on
who
this
do
for
we
me.
think-
Sleeper for this for me is Angels, Red Sox. Before we make the prime time picks, let me show the standings really quick. Lisa is 3-2. Brett's 2-1. I am a measly 2-3. I got to figure my stuff out. Shout out to these pictures though. We got AI Brett, Yankee Lisa, probably in one of her crazy rants where she's screaming. And then I don't know what I'm doing with the Harold
The
Ramirez.
Yankees puffer low key goes hard though.
I kind of want to steal it from her, but I think if I put it on, it'd burn through my chest and like a demon in a church, I would just like evaporate. So
It's true.
all right,
I could imagine.
Saturday 4:05 p.m. We got the Rangers at Houston this time. They swapped venues and they swapped channels. Who do we have?
Taking the Rangers.
I'd like to know the pitching matchups before I
I think it says
Weigh in.
TBD. but it's probably
Yeah,
I don't even know.
I just looked.
You
It's
can't. You
Yankees.
can't. You just gotta go for it, Brett. You just gotta.
All the pitchers
I'm
might have Tommy
also-
John by the time the series comes, so we don't know.
Yeah, true.
I'm also gonna go Rangers.
All right, I'll pick Astros. I had them last week. I'll take them again. Astros. Let's go ESPN Sunday night baseball, 7 p.m. Sunday. We got the Padres at the Dodgers. Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago would have been an awesome series. Maybe it's lost a little bit of its luster, but let's see if they can get it back. Who do we have winning this one?
Okay, see, I want to win this little thing we're doing, so I feel like I have to pick the Dodgers, but I kind of want the Padres. I kind of want the Padres to win this one, and just for the plot, just for the intrigue, the drama. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Padres just for
Okay.
funsies. Be different.
Well, not so much different, and it feels like I'm riding the Lisa pick wave, but I already got the script for the game. Padres are gonna win 4-3.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, I'm going with Shohei Parlay Ohtani in the Dodgers.
You're gonna do what is it? Ohtani Betts. What's the third guy?
Yeah, I'm actually I have a parlay that Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman are both gonna all three get on base in the first inning.
They probably will.
The Nerfy will not hit the Dodgers, the Angels. The Dodgers are scoring 4 runs in the first inning and never looking back.
Also, didn't I pick the Cardinals to beat the Dodgers, and I was correct on that?
Yeah, I think you were.
So maybe I just know something you guys don't about the Dodgers.
Shoot, should I
So,
switch?
give me Padres. Now you already picked it.
It's
Set
too
in
late
stone.
now.
Once it comes out my mouth, it can't be reversed.
Nope. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's
give me,
all.
Give me Rangers and give me Padres.
That's actually not. I was gonna say that's all I got for today. That's actually not all I got for today. I am pissed off. Last thing before we get off, because I know it's getting late and Brett is Brett hasn't had dinner and he's hungry, talking about cheesesteak and pizza.
And Little Caesars pizza.
Yeah. Last thing, the Guardians were supposed to play a game during the eclipse today, and they didn't. Major League Baseball lost out on an awesome marketing opportunity.
Why?
You know how well they just pushed the game back so that
Why?
so that the eclipse wouldn't happen in the middle of the game. And I said, MLB,
Okay.
that is so dumb. You missed out on such a good marketing opportunity. It would have been all over Twitter, would have been all over social media. It would have been really cool.
This is literally what I'm talking about. Anything interesting. Let's just get rid of it.
We wound her up.
You know,
We wound her up. All right. Well, Brett.
anything fun. Is it fun? Is it interesting? Just don't do it. Just don't do that. Do the boring thing.
Brett, thanks for
What are we
hopping
doing,
on,
guys?
man. What do you have?
What
What
are
are you
we
getting for
doing?
dinner? What are you eating for dinner tonight?
We got chicken potatoes
Nice.
Nice.
with the garlic parm, Buffalo Wild Wing sauce. I'm about to mix it together, a little bit of ranch.
Dude. God bless your
Okay.
toilet, man. It's going to be working overtime.
Yes,
Well,
chef.
After I came out of that, I had like the stomach bug yesterday. So I think hopefully it's all.
Is
ran
it
its course.
confirmed that was from Jordan? Jordan cooking?
Unconfirmed.
Jordan's
Unconfirmed.
food? She gave you raw
Unconfirmed.
chicken? You ate raw chicken?
Unconfirmed, but I'm literally about to eat her cooking right now. So
Maybe it'll
Never
Let us
reverse
know.
effects.
Yeah.
It'll reverse effects.
never bite the hand that feeds you. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. See you guys.
Thanks
Until
for
next
being here.
time.
Make sure if you made it this far that you rate, review, subscribe if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, and leave us a comment, like the video, subscribe on YouTube, do all the things. We gotta remind people, guys. We gotta somehow get these numbers up.
Thank you, sir. Alright, deuces.
Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour one. Tell me what you're thinking, we can have some more fun. I know that you said you don't think of me, but what you're doing now is telling different. Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour one. Tell me what you're thinking, we can have some more fun. I know that you said you don't think of me, but what you're doing now is telling differently.